Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about the one skincare product that everybody needs, and that is sunscreen. Video, I am going to be assisting you in choosing the right sunscreen for you. So I'm going to give you all the technicalities about sunscreen so that you're able to make the right choice when you are purchasing your sunscreen. So basically there are two categories of sunscreen. You have physical or mineral sunscreens and you have chemical sunscreens. Now the main difference between these two is it's kind of in the name, because your mineral sunscreens obviously have more of your mineral type of ingredients. They are seen to be more environmentally friendly. That's not proven yet, so we're just gonna say that's what people out there say, but we don't know if it's true or not. Then your more chemical sunscreens contain obviously more of your chemical products. Some of them are said to be a little bit toxic, but again, that has not been proven. So we can't really say for sure which one is the healthier option between the two, or the safer option between the two. So how do these two sunscreens work, and why are there two different categories of sunscreens? So your mineral or physical sunscreens basically create a protective layer on your skin. So I don't know if you remember using the Nivea children's sunscreen when you were younger and you'd go swimming or you'd go to the beach or whatever the situation was. But basically as soon as you hit the water, you would see that bluish kind of purplish film on your skin. That is what mineral sunscreens create. They create a barrier between your skin and UV rays from the sun. So that barrier basically bounces off any UV rays that try into your skin. It's like a protective sunscreen shield that you've got going on when you use your mineral or physical sunscreens. Whereas your chemical sunscreens, actually penetrate the skin. So when you apply a chemical sunscreen, it will definitely sink into your skin. Now what happens is when the sun's rays come into contact with your skin, they do actually enter your skin. However, because you have the sunscreen that's already there, it creates some crazy chemical reactions, science, and basically the UV rays from the sun do not burn you because of the chemical reaction that happens between the sunscreen and the UV rays. So that's basically how these two sunscreens work. About safety in terms of sunscreen, a lot of parents, particularly mothers, like to use more of the mineral and physical sunscreens, and this is for obvious reasons. Mineral and physical sunscreens cause less irritation to the skin. So because they aren't seeping into the skin and they're kind of just sitting on top of your skin, this results in them causing less skin irritation and less skin rashes. So if you have got children, you would definitely want your children to use this sunscreen, as it's going to reduce the chances of them having any type of weird reactions to sunscreen once it's applied. There have also been a lot of environmental studies. I put environmental studies in inverted commas because it's a really open and ended discussion. No one has kind of gotten to a conclusion on which one is safer. At the end of the day though, what they have said is both of these sunscreens are technically chemical sunscreens, because the minerals that you find in mineral sunscreens are actually made in a lab. So how different is it from your chemical sunscreens? Because they're also made in the lab. Anyway, discussion for another day. I'm not a scientist, I'm just a real nigga. But basically that is the conclusion that they've gotten to, that they're kind of on the same level of toxicity. It's just that obviously your mineral sunscreens will cause less irritation because they aren't sinking into your skin. But in terms of being safer, they're on the same page. Also, another thing that has been discussed is that chemical sunscreens can release more toxins into the environment because of their chemical makeup. However, that is also a very weak argument, as no one knows for sure. And to even make things a little bit more confusing, these days you actually find chemical sunscreens which will have mineral properties in them, or even vice versa. So you really can't tell anymore which one is safer and which one isn't. It's just a confusing situation. Rays to protect yourself from. So the sun emits two kind of rays, okay? You get UVB rays and UVA rays. Now, what are UVB rays? What are UVA rays? What are you talking about? So UVB rays, the best way to remember those is it is your ultraviolet burn rays. These are the sun rays that will burn your skin. I'm talking about fry your skin. When you have sunburn, it's because of UVB rays. Now, UVB rays are really dangerous because these can result in, if you are not protected from UVB rays in any way whatsoever, these can result in premature skin cancer problems. So you start seeing signs of skin cancer at a very early age. And then also later on in life, you can actually have skin cancer simply because you were never protecting yourself from UVB rays. So be very careful. UVB rays are the main enemy. That is exactly what we want to prevent from happening. You don't want skin cancer at 50. Then your UVA rays, the best way to remember these are your UV aging rays. So the sun actually emits rays that make you older, quicker. I mean, the devil is at work here, honestly. So your UVA rays, which are your aging rays, these can result in premature aging. So you start having early signs of wrinkles, as well as these lovely things called aging spots, or some people just refer to them as dark spots. These rays result in aging, premature aging. You do not want to look old before you're actually old. So we also want to protect ourselves from UVA rays. The most ideal sunscreen that you can look for out there is one that is going to protect you from UVB rays as well as UVA rays. Now, there have also been some funky sunscreens that have come out which protect you from blue light rays. Now, blue light rays are the rays that your phone emits. Your phone screen will emit these rays. Your computer screen will emit these rays. Any type of lighting, usually in your more office kind of environments, will emit these rays as well. There have been sunscreens that have been made to prevent these rays from having an effect on your skin. Now, honestly, I think that is more of an additional kind of thing to prevent yourself from. And I don't think it's really necessary if you're not someone who wants to spend the extra money on protecting yourselves from those rays, because trust me, it's a bit more pricey if you want to protect yourself from blue light rays. Okay, now we're going to be talking about the ideal SPF that you should be looking out for. What is SPF? SPF simply stands for sun protection factor. So that's basically how much protection you are looking for in your sunscreen. Now, a lot of moisturizers, a lot of facial moisturizers, especially going into your more higher end moisturizers, will have some sort of SPF in them. A lot of them will start from the range of 15 going upwards. The maximum that I've seen in terms of drugstore products has been SPF 30. However, you can get some moisturizers that are lower than SPF 15. If I'm not mistaken, I think Johnson's Daily Moisturizer is below 15. But anyway, the minimum SPF that you should have in your sunscreen is SPF 30. That is the bare minimum. Literally, that is when they say you have just passed. Okay, you have just passed the point of protecting yourself from the sun. Now, okay, if you're going to be that guy that says, oh, my daily moisturizer's got sunscreen, I'm protected, I'm good, everything is great, I'm about to burst your bubble. Basically, I do not believe in any products that combine two functions. I don't believe in it. Or three functions for that matter. I think it's a lie. It's not real. There is something that is lacking in that product and you just don't recognize it. So the problem with relying on the sunscreen that is in your moisturizer is that it's actually not enough. There is not enough sunscreen in your moisturizer for it to actually even protect you from the sun. So it could have SPF 30, but the amount of SPF 30 that's in there is probably 5% of the product. And then what's the use? Because you're not really getting what you should be getting from your sunscreen. So I always say, even if your daily moisturizer has got sunscreen in it, buy a separate sunscreen. Spend the money on a separate sunscreen, okay? So SPF 30, as I said, is your minimum. That's like your base level. You don't want to be walking around on the base level of SPF 30 simply because you will constantly have to reapply sunscreen because you are using an SPF 30. So your SPF 30 will probably protect you for 30 minutes or so, and then every 30 minutes you're going to have to reapply that SPF 30, especially if you're someone that sweats a lot. If you've got perhaps, I don't know, you've touched water somehow, you went into the pool or anything like that, you will literally have to have a timer on you for every 30 minutes for you to reapply sunscreen. And at the end of the day, you're going to be wasting sunscreen because you're applying it so regularly in order for it to actually fully protect you. I say that the best sunscreen protection that you can get is an SPF 50. With SPF 50, you have one, okay? SPF 50s are really great. They are solid. If you are someone that likes to do a lot of outdoor activities, an SPF 30 is definitely going to SPF 50, is definitely going to protect you while you are out there doing your thing. Also, so instead of having to reapply your sunscreen every 30 minutes, now you can go for an hour without having to reapply your sunscreen. So already you're saving money in terms of how much sunscreen you're using, and also you actually have an adequate amount of sun protection with you. So don't be that guy. It's basically a lot of things that I've heard from a lot of people talking about why they don't need sunscreen or any other crazy ideas that they have about sunscreen. So probably the maddest one I've ever heard is when my dark skin beauties say, I don't know, I don't need sunscreen, I got melanin in my skin, I'm protected. Guys, no, you're wrong, okay? You are very, very wrong. Everyone needs sunscreen. The sun's UVB rays particularly are very strong here in South Africa. You will get sunburned and you're simply exposing yourself to premature cancer problems. You do not want that. You just don't need it. So to all my dark skin beauties out there, please guys, let's stop lying to ourselves. Just put on sunscreen. It's okay. You need it. You need the sunscreen. We know you've got beautiful melanin that's going to keep you young forever, but you need sunscreen, okay? Buy sunscreen. This is not a joke. Number 2 is for my fairer skin beauties who are out there wanting to tan, wanting to look a little toasty, looking all nice and toasty for the summertime. I understand, okay? You don't want to look too fair and you want to have some color to your skin. However, tanning using the sun is, I'm sorry to say it, it's just outdated. I don't think you should be doing that at all. This day and age, we all know what the repercussions are of tanning using the sun. I feel like there are so many amazing tanning lotions that are out there. I obviously cannot give any recommendations as I've never used any. However, there are many out there and I'm sure you can find the right one for you. Protect your skin, love your skin, still look toasty and good for the summertime, but just use a tanning lotion and be happier in the long run. Then, last but not least, is don't be the guy that thinks that now because I use sunscreen, I will never get burned by the sun. That is inaccurate. You can still get sunburn from the sun even while using sunscreen. The main purpose for sunscreen is protection, okay? Think of it as a bullet vest, right? You put on a bullet vest, you get shot. You can still feel the pain of the bullet impacting your body. However, the bullet will not go past the bullet vest. That is sunscreen. You will still get sunburnt. However, because now you have sunscreen on, you're protecting yourself from the worst, which is getting cancer. So think of it that way. Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you got all the information that you needed. Oh wait, one last thing. I think this is actually quite important. Now, chemical sunscreens are formulated for your needs. That is one of the perks of using a chemical sunscreen. If you have dry skin, there will be chemical sunscreens that will appeal to the dry skin market. However, mineral sunscreens, it's a one-fits-all type of situation. Another thing is a lot of people don't really like mineral sunscreens because of the bluish purplish film that they create on your skin. This film can be really off-putting if you're someone that takes a lot of pictures. If you're wearing makeup, it can distort the color of your makeup. And also if you start sweating, you can actually see the blue and purple kind of like dripping down your face. It's not a cute look at all, and so I do understand why a lot of people don't really like to use mineral or physical sunscreens because of that reason. So that is everything that I can tell you about sunscreen. Guys, you need sunscreen as part of your daily skincare routine. The reason why sunscreen is so important is because a lot of the times things that happen to our skin are really caused by the sun. So it's best to protect yourself from the sun in order for you to really get your full's worth from having a skincare routine. I would say spend the extra money on sunscreen and maybe cut off from other things in your skincare routine, because at the end of the day, I do believe that sunscreen is a really vital part of your skincare routine, and you really need to spend the correct amount of money for you to get your value's worth, okay, from your sunscreen. So if there's anything you're going to splurge on in terms of your skincare routine, sunscreen is definitely the #1 thing that you should be looking at. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.